Good morning, everyone. So I am here at the beautiful Sanibel Lighthouse Beach, and it is the 1-year anniversary today of my prophylactic double mastectomy. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and share my experience that day with you guys. I was contemplating putting up a post, but a video just seemed a little bit more suitable. So there's a lot to that day that I haven't shared and leading up to that experience. So I'll try not to make this video too long, but hopefully somebody out there will find it helpful and take a few nuggets from it. So my surgery was a year ago today, December 20th, 2019 was my surgery. It's also actually a really special day. My brother, December 20th is his birthday, so that was a part of the reason of me picking the date. Obviously not the greatest birthday for him, but I had the choice of either December 13th, which happened to be a Friday the 13th, or his birthday, the 20th. So I went with that day because we have a really special relationship, and I figured no better way to put the kind of good juju out there and to honor our relationship by doing something really out of love and out of best interest for my family. So that's the reason why we landed on December 20th. So also, side note, happy birthday to my brother. So we all migrated up to, as some of you know, my hospital was Moffitt Cancer Center, which is located in Tampa, Florida. So my family traveled in from Seattle. My cousin was here from England, and also some family up from Naples, Florida too. We all traveled into Tampa the day before my surgery, had a nice little family dinner and some presents and fun just family time that evening. And it was really as relaxed as you could possibly imagine. My feeling that day, there's a vehicle driving by, please hold. That may, yeah, there we go. So my overall feeling that day was anxious, but I was really just channeling that into the excitement of being around my family that I hadn't seen in a really long time. So it was really just overall a nice day. I had planned everything out to a T, which for those of you that know me is not surprising. Every little piece of the day was planned leading up to the surgery. So I was putting, finishing touches on my playlist, making sure my backpack was packed and that I had everything that I needed. I was making sure that my family knew where all of my paperwork and things were that I needed. And, before we left for Tampa, we made sure that my bed was set up with all of my pillows, things like that. Just preparing for when we were coming home. So moving into, and I really just want to focus on the day of the surgery. So waking up that morning, and I did get some sleep that night, surprisingly. So I slept from about 10:30 until maybe 4:30, and I had to be at the hospital at 5:30. I had a first surgery of the day, which was really nice because you obviously can't eat or drink. So I didn't really have to think about that too much. So I had done that. So wake up day of surgery, and as I play with my lighting here. So wake up day of surgery, take one of those hospital bath shower things with the special soap. Can't eat anything. So I didn't really give myself much of a margin that morning. It was really just enough time to blow dry my hair and get ready. So the vibe that morning was a little different. You could tell everyone was super, super supportive. I was surrounded by as much love as you could possibly imagine, but I didn't really know what to expect. I honestly felt a little bit numb. So I had gone that morning to, when we got to the hospital, and even actually before that. So as we're leaving the hotel, I kind of realized that, oh God, like this is going to be a different kind of a day. So and I didn't script this out, guys, so I may be a little all over the place, so forgive me. So as we're preparing to leave the hotel that morning, so my dad and my stepmom were there. They weren't gonna come over to the hospital because only so many people were allowed back initially with me. So I went over to their room to say goodbye, and honestly, that is the most, that's kind of when I realized that I was gonna be in for a day. And very quickly realized what the most challenging part of the day was going to be for me, which was saying bye to my family. And I didn't anticipate it. I didn't really do anything to prepare for that. But as soon as I hugged them, I was just like struck by just like this feeling of, oh crap, like, okay. Like, you know, the next time I see them, I'm gonna have gone through the surgery, and it became really, really real. So we're leaving the hospital, and that's when I nervously started having to go to the bathroom about every 15 minutes, which is TMI, so sorry. But we're leaving the hospital, and I was just like, oh God, I need a bathroom like now, like immediately. So that was that. So we finding a bathroom, get to the hospital, check in. All of that process was really smooth and very quick, which I was also not, you think you have time, right? So this whole morning is just going like, you blink and it's gone. And I'm like, oh my God, like I know I'm ready. I've done everything that I can possibly do, but I don't feel ready. So I'm checking into the hospital, and for those of you that have never been through a really big surgery or don't know, you know, you have to prepare your living will, your power of attorney paperwork, all of your legal paperwork with a big surgery like this. So I had to review that with the lady at the desk. They have to make their copies. And again, it's just another thing. I'd been working on that for weeks. Everything had been notarized. I knew it was coming, but it was just, oh shit, this is real. Like, it's another, like, okay, now I'm actually handing these papers to someone in case they have to use them for whatever reason. So it's just another, like, it's real moment. So did that. Everyone in the hospital was super lovely, and they send us back. So we check in at the desk. They send us back to a waiting room. So with us, there's me, my mom, my cousin Laura, my boyfriend at the time, Jay, who's now my fiance, and my brother and his girlfriend, Jen. So they're all with us. We have a whole crew. So everybody's waiting in this waiting room. And again, I thought I was gonna have time, like, to sit down and chat with everyone and just take a minute. And I didn't even get a chance to sit down, and they came back to grab me to pull me back. So it was just, okay, this is happening. So that's when hugging everyone became really, really emotional. So, and again, I didn't plan for that. It wasn't expected, although obviously it would be expected. So I'm going in the circle, hugging everyone, and my mom was able to come back with me. So the guy was like, I don't know why you're emotional. I was like, it's just everything all at once. It felt like everything that I'd been tucking away into being busy and keeping my head down and just keeping focused on the end goal was now there. So I couldn't even get words out how emotional I was, which I felt really, really bad that was going to be obviously the last time that my family was going to see me before the surgery, and I didn't want them to think that I was upset. So it was just an experience. So, and it was what it was. So it was all of those feelings just finding their way out. So hug everyone. My mom comes back with me, getting ready. And all of this time I had heard through friends and things that you get sedated. So I'm like, when is that coming? Because help, like, just take this shit away. Like, somebody take me to a happy place. Like, I'm feeling a lot of feels, and I just want to be sedated right now. So this whole time I'm like waiting. I'm like, please give me something. They can't give it to you right away because you still have to sign off on paperwork, okaying on what your surgery is going to be, what that's all going to look like. So so just waiting for that, which is crazy. So, and it feels like it's forever, but it's not. So getting ready, you know, they check your vitals, the surgeon comes back, marks you up. I had two surgeons there, my breast surgeon, which is the surgeon that removes your breast tissue, and then my plastic surgeon came in, who's the person that at the time, they either do your reconstruction or they place breast tissue expander. So that's what he did for me, because I opted to go a little bit bigger with my breast size. So they place those so that you can kind of pick your size as you go, and you do have to have another surgery down the line. But either way, so saw all of my team. We did have some experiences, and again, keep in mind, I'm also still going to the bathroom every 15 minutes, like literally pooping my pants. I didn't, but I was very close to, so I was nearby to that bathroom all the time, every 15 minutes like clockwork. And so there's that going on, and then there's also nurses coming in, checking, and they did let my family switch out. So, you know, my mom would switch out with my boyfriend, with my brother would come back while my mom would be there. So I was still able to see everyone. Again, this is at like 6 a.m. My surgery was 7:30. So they're all just taking vitals and prepping me. And this whole time I'm just like, oh God, like, oof, it was a lot. And I was waiting for the sedation. I was emotional this entire time. I was crying the entire time. You know, the lady would come in and ask me to change, and I'd be like, okay. So yeah, which I think the sun might be coming up soon anyway. I think we're almost to that time. So I did have some instances with the nurses while we were there that morning, which I wish that I didn't remember. Of all things that I do remember that day, I wish that was not one of them. I had a nurse come in and ask me where my cancer was, and I got really, really agitated by that. And this is pre-drugs, but I was stressed because they had told me during my pre-op, when they do, which was about a week and a half before, they do a mammogram, they do an MRI, you get all of your testing done so that they have the latest information on what they're looking at when they go in. And I had that, and they found something that was suspicious. So if I wasn't having the surgery done, they would have done a biopsy anyway. So the timing of that was really good. At least I didn't have to worry about having a biopsy. They were just going to do it during the surgery. But I was really sensitive to cancer, not knowing if I had it or not at that point. You know, hopefully my surgery was going to be prophylactic, but we didn't know. So this nurse came in and asked that, and my mom's sitting in the room with me, she's a cancer survivor. And I just looked at her and I go, I don't have cancer that I know of. This is a prophylactic double mastectomy. And she just goes, oh, ha, ha, ha. Well, why are you having the surgery then? And this is coming from someone that works at a cancer hospital that offers the surgery. So I was really taken aback and didn't really enjoy that experience very much, especially going into the surgery. So that was that. The nurse left. Then we had a small instance where the nurses were trying to get me to take some pain medication beforehand, and which is fine, nothing wrong with that. They were doing their jobs. But I had told everyone, literally everyone and their mother beforehand, that there's a bride and groom about to walk by. Super exciting. See if I can get them. So I told everyone and their mother beforehand that I can't swallow pills. If you know me literally forever, I cannot swallow pills. Even with like Tylenol, I bite the capsules and swallow the pieces. They can be like tiny pills, but I have to have a lot of water, which again, surgery morning, you're not allowed to have water or anything like that. So yeah, the nurses tried, and it was really forceful to get me to take them. They were not understanding. And I had told every doctor, every pre-op, like every appointment that I have to add to my file, you know, if you need to give me something, it's got to be liquid or in an IV. And so we battled over that for a few minutes. And I know that was really hard for my mom, who was with me, to watch, because it was just, I was already upset and on edge, and that was just another thing. Again, on a normal day, not the biggest deal, but I was already super stressed. So then as soon as, you know, my surgeons came in to see me, it was so much better. They have very calming auras. So, you know, I felt like I was in good hands, which was really, really good. And then again, I'm still going to the bathroom. So then comes time to go back for surgery, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go to, excuse me, gotta go to the bathroom one last time, just for the road. And so I go back to the bathroom, and you know, I made a comment to the guy. I'm like, I might be a few minutes. He goes, all right, like, show's not going on without you. We're here for you, so don't worry. I'm like, great. I'm just gonna be in the bathroom for like the whole day. It's fine, hiding. So go to the bathroom, and I'm standing there looking at myself in the mirror, and I was having a very hard time grasping that the next time I was going to be looking in the mirror, I was going to look like a different person, and that I would be on the other side of this experience. And I was scared shitless to go back out and to face this. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to and I needed to, but at the same time, I really, really didn't want to go. So And it's hard to think about still. So I may edit that out, maybe not, because it's real. So just like they do in movies, I stood there and was like, what can I do? You know, I'm in the bathroom by myself, nobody's here to talk to me, what do I do? So I stood there in front of the mirror in that Superman pose that they tell you helps you face the day and get in the right mindset. So I stood there like that, you know, hands on hips, like superhero, for probably a few minutes. I have no idea if I was in the bathroom for 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, no idea, not sure. It could have been forever. I wasn't wearing a watch, I didn't have my phone, no clue. So I stood there and I did this thing when I fly. Anytime I go on an airplane, because I like flying, I love traveling, but flying makes me nervous. So anytime I step on a plane, my last step on the ground, I just say, let it go. And that's what I did. As I opened the bathroom door, I just said, let it go. And it was harder than getting on a plane. But it was the only thing I think to do. So did that, go out, lay back in my little bed, waiting to get taken back, and then they sedate me. And I'm like, you couldn't have done this any earlier. So once I was sedated, I was, and there wasn't really much time in between that and getting taken back, I don't think. But my brother and my mom were there. I remember waving bye to them and feeling okay, feeling calm. And again, I wish I'd felt that way the entire time, but understand that I couldn't. So I got taken back and I really don't remember anything. Literally after seeing my mom and my brother, it's the last thing I remember. And then the really cool thing that I wanted to share with you guys, that I think is cool, at least it's a little dorky, is that I also, in addition to that, really, again, everything is black. I don't remember anything. I don't remember being in an operating room. I don't remember seeing anything. I remember like literally getting wheeled from pre-op. So for those of you that haven't seen pictures or don't know, I have a massive picture of a tattoo of a giraffe on my back, on my shoulder. And it represents peace to me. It's got a lovely butterfly on it from my mom, and it's everything to me. And there we go, we got a sunrise. So I'll see if I can get that for you guys. So that tattoo represents a lot to me, and I don't know, it's really, really meaningful. So and having that was, I don't know, it was a really, really neat, freaky experience. So I'm obviously lying on some sort of hospital bed waiting for the surgery, sedated, unaware, whatever. And the last thing that I remember is hearing a voice. And it very well could have been a doctor, it could have been my anesthesiologist, it could have been anyone. But the last thing that I remember is just hearing someone say, I got you. And it was the weirdest, most strange thing, like, because it didn't feel like it was a doctor. It wasn't a voice that I knew. You know, the anesthesiologist that brought me back, it wasn't his voice. I remembered his voice. So it was just strange. So I remember hearing, I got you, and then feeling like I was melting away into my tattoo, which was like the strangest experience. It was just kind of like this and fading in. But that I got you made me feel like I was okay, you know, somebody. So yeah, it was just really comforting in the moment. So yeah. So that's the last thing that I remember before going under for surgery. The surgery was 6 hours long, which was 2 hours longer than expected. And thankfully, you know, they biopsied everything they wanted to biopsy. There was no cancer, which was really, really good. And yeah, The first thing I remember waking up, I wasn't in pain that I remember. I really couldn't move my arms very much. You know, that was really the first pain that I experienced, was when I tried to like lift an arm up, because you're sore under your arms and you have drains in you that pull when you move, so it's not comfortable. But I remember thinking, I think when I looked at the clock for the first time, it was like 4:30. Obviously my surgery was at 8, so there was some buffer time in there that I didn't remember, a few hours. But the first thing that I remember thinking and being aware of was the Teletubbies, which was strange. But then come to find out that I was singing the Teletubbies theme song because my boobs were blue from the dye where they biopsied me. So apparently I was singing that when they first pulled me into recovery, and so my mom got to experience that, and some nurses, so that's good. You're welcome for the funny memories. And then I moved into Baby Shark and rap songs, but mostly Baby Shark. Baby Shark was my favorite. There's video evidence way back about a year ago on my Facebook of a clip of a blooper, but I just kept singing Baby Shark, so that was fun. I don't remember that. I remember the time. I remember looking at the clock and seeing that it was 4:30. I remember hearing my family. I don't remember seeing them, but obviously they were there. I remember a doctor coming in, or a nurse, and saying, you know, they're checking everything. They had to deflate one of my expanders a little bit because the pressure was too high. So I remember seeing the big ass needle that they put into my boob to deflate, which was a little interesting, but not scary. Obviously, I was still on a lot of drugs, so it was fine. But yeah, that's pretty much my surgery day. My mom stayed with me overnight. The rest of the family stayed in a nearby hotel. And yeah, this video went on a little longer than I anticipated, but I hope that if anything, it's comforting for you guys to hear. And I really just always go back to that "I've got you," and that weird, bizarre feeling that just like gave me permission to let go. And it's just really, really nice. So I hope that as we go into the holiday season, you guys, you're surrounded by loved ones, and that you're safe, and that you're as happy as you can be. This has been a crazy, crazy year for everyone, I think. But yeah, just enjoy the season and know that somebody's got you. So I'll talk to you guys later.